welcome to Books Amaze. I am Avni. Today is a book review day and today's book is Less by Andrew Sean Greer. Now this one is a national bestseller and it won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction last year in 2018, and so many people have been recommending this book to me, so many people have been reading it, and there are a lot of mixed reviews about this book on internet, on Goodreads. Many people loved it, many people hated it, so it piqued my curiosity and I was so eager to read it. So I thought just let's give it a try, and I have now finished reading it and I'm gonna share my honest reviews about Less with all of you. So make sure you watch this video till the end to know what I feel about Less. Less is the story of Arthur Less, a gay writer who is approaching his 50th birthday, who is a failed novelist, who is lost in love. In fact, he never actually invested that much in love, and who is facing a midlife crisis. His literary reputation is fading, and worst of all, his ex-boyfriend, with whom Arthur Less was so much in love and he is still in love, is getting married to someone else, and he has invited Arthur Less to his wedding. Now this is an awkward situation. He can't say yes because if he go there, it will bring back all those painful memories, and if he say no, well then it will look kind of rude and he might still think that Arthur Less is still thinking about him. So what to do now? So what he does instead is that he RSVP his ex-boyfriend that sorry, I'll not be able to attend your wedding because I'll be out of country. Now he actually doesn't have a place to go. So what he does is he accepts all the literary invitations that he has been receiving from quite a few times, that he had been neglecting actually, and he decides to attend them all and just to travel the world. Now he actually goes on sort of a world trip that starts from San Francisco, where he actually lives, to New York, where he has to interview an author, to Mexico, where he has to deliver a talk on his ex-lover Robert, who is a Pulitzer winner author, to Italy, where he is nominated for an award, to Paris for a transit, to Morocco to celebrate his 50th birthday, then to India for a writing retreat, then to Japan for a cuisine testing and to write about it, and then back to America. So yeah, a very long journey. Now there are two things that intrigued me to read this book. First one is that it talks about traveling. I absolutely love to read books where the protagonist is traveling across the world, giving us sort of some insights about those places. And the second reason is the genre of this book, which is comedy. I haven't read comedy from a long time. In fact, I have been reading some serious types of books from past couple of months. So yeah, I was very desperate to read something light and something which will make me smile. And I figured out while I was reading the book that despite being a comedy, at the heart of it, it actually is a love story. There were many surprises for me in this book, some good and some not so good. First of all, talking about the cover of this book, let me mention that it is very pretty, the colors are superb, and this writer sort of a person just falling down and trying to write something is very pretty, very catchy. And the thing that surprised me is that from the blurb of this book, I couldn't assume that the author or the character Less is gay, which is actually a very good surprise because I don't recall reading any book or any story where the protagonist, the gay protagonist, is above 40 years of age. All the books that I have read or the stories that I have read till now, all of in them the protagonists were young, they were below 30 years of age. But to read about a gay protagonist who is approaching his 50th birthday, who is thinking about getting old and stuff, was very refreshing to read. The next surprise was the writing style of this book, which is a non-linear type of writing. And someone else is narrating the book. So Arthur Less is not narrating the book, someone else is narrating the book who is in fact a character in the book itself. So you keep guessing who the narrator is, and it is only revealed in the last few pages of the book. And we are constantly taken back to past, then to present, then to past, then to present, all in this non-linear pattern. I although liked this type of writing style, it was very new for me, but because of this type of writing style, I wasn't able to connect with Arthur Less. I wasn't able to like him, although that might be the sole aim of this story, because Arthur Less is a flawed character, just like all the other characters in the book. They are all flawed. Nobody is perfect here, which is the thing which I really liked in the book. In fact, all the insanely famous characters were also portrayed as flawed characters. But yeah, that connect between me as a reader and the protagonist was definitely missing for me. One more thing about this writing style, which I initially was enjoying a lot, but then it became repetitive, was how the characters and situations were described in the book. So to introduce all of the characters and the places, there were at least 6 to 7 lines which were dedicated to them, and they were all beautiful lines wrapped in beautiful words which felt like poetry. But then it was just too much of it. So there was this too much of similar kind of writing. And yeah, if you're a beginner, please avoid reading this book. This will only appeal to those who have read at least 100 books in their life and would like to go on reading something higher than usual. I picked this book thinking that it is a comedy book, but honestly there were hardly any moments where I laughed out loud. There were some moments though where the author took a dig at intellectual people and author-like people and their lives, which was kind of a self-deprecating humor. I enjoyed that. There were some witty lines and sarcasm and one-liners here and there, but it wasn't something as if I was having tears of joy. Definitely not. Another thing that disappointed me a lot is that even though Arthur Less travels to so many countries, there were no insights into these places or their cultures or anything solid that I can take away from it. Initially it gave me that Eat, Pray, Love sort of a vibe, but that book was so good, and this book disappointed me a lot on this travel theme, because it was one of the main reasons why I picked this book up, right? But it disappointed me a lot. In fact, it felt like since there is no solid story, we are just trying to make up for it by traveling around the world. And even though Les has traveled the whole world, in the end, it wasn't like he has gained any wisdom or, he's like, okay, now I know what I have to do. He's still flawed, which is okay, I can understand it. But for me, it wasn't like, okay, now I am able to connect with this man. No. That connect was still missing till the very last page. I really wanted to abandon this book in between, but I just kept going. I gave it a benefit of doubt just because it's a Pulitzer winner, and by the time I finished it, I was so frustrated. People around me should actually thank me that I didn't throw this book on their head. I mean, I have always loved books that breaks form, that has an underlying narrative, or that breaks the realms of convention. But at least pack it together with a solid story, dude. Having said that, I would still like to recommend you this book if you are okay with experimenting and if you would like to read that non-linear type of structure. And I'll definitely recommend you this book if you want to become an author. You could actually take so many lessons from this beautiful non-linear poetic type of writing style and how you can experiment with your characters. But for me as a reader personally, this experiment didn't work out. I don't know, maybe I hoped a lot with this book, maybe my expectations were something else, or maybe I was just in a different zone altogether. But yeah, overall, this wasn't a good experience for me. So this was me reviewing the 2018 Pulitzer Prize winner Less by Andrew Sean Greer. Please mention in the comment section below whether you have read Less or not, or if you'd like to. And if you have loved it or liked it, please mention your reasons as well in the comment section below. I'd love to take a look because I love to look at different perspectives. And if you guys have liked this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. I see so many people liking my videos who are not subscribers to my channel. So please, I request you, प्लीज़ उस बटन को क्लिक कर दो, फ्री है, कुछ नहीं जाएगा. प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल and I'll see you soon with another video. Till then, you guys take care of yourself and keep reading.